You're listening to the Fox Den Sports Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Todd and his three sons, Kellen, Garrett, and Gannon.
Welcome back to the Fox Den Sports Podcast, along with my middle son, Garrett. I'm Todd Fox. Three other kiddos are unable to make it tonight, but we are the ones that will be with you for the next 20 or 30 minutes or so. Hopefully no longer than that. That's the goal. But let's get into a few things, Garrett. One, OU softball. Let's talk about that. What is that? 4 in a row, national champions. Is that Patty Gasso's eighth?
Yeah.
Eighth championship, and then 2 years in a row beating Texas, which makes it even a little bit sweeter. What are your thoughts so far on that?
I think it's just funny that we had a better record than Texas, won the Big 12 regular season. I don't think we won the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. But
what's that? We won the Big 12, yeah.
Yeah. And Texas was still a higher ranking than us. I understand they won the head-to-heads against us throughout the season, but like I said, it's Oklahoma. You're telling me Bama would have been number one back in the day if they would have lost one game? I don't know. But yeah, going into it, the number 2 seed, I think that gave us enough of a chip on our shoulder to feel that doubt of other outside noise, which is always important. And then, I mean, the only ones that really put up a fight against us was Florida.
Yeah,
They won the one, and then it took Jada Coleman that walk-off home run, which was crazy.
Wasn't that awesome?
Crazy.
It was awesome. I think, what did I see? The actual, what do you call it? Folks that were at the game, attendance for the game. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
Broke the record, I think.
12,324 is what I'm seeing. Which is pretty impressive for softball, and I don't mean that disrespectful. I just mean like that's how far it's come, and I think how far it's going, and it's very impressive that we've been dominant. And there's all this talk from Texas that not wanting it to be here in Oklahoma. Or Oklahoma City, thinking it's home field advantage, which the thing is we just happen to start getting good in the last, 10 or 12 years or so, however long that's been. Not saying we were ever terrible, but it wasn't a home field advantage then. Now all of a sudden that we're good, it is. There's no reason why you would take it away, for one. I know the College World Series is in Omaha every year. Nobody says anything about Nebraska, who has the opportunity to be in it every year, but they're not. If they were, then people would probably start bringing it up. But at the same time, like, where's the Fiesta Bowl every year? Where's the Orange Bowl every year? Where's the Cotton Bowl? Where's all the, the Sugar Bowl, all these bowl games? They're in the same spot every year. That makes perfect sense to keep it where it is. And, of course, I'm not going to lie. I'm completely biased about that because I enjoy it being here. But at the same time, you can't sit there and you. Well, I want to get into this in a minute too, but all the negative comments from people, saying because it's an advantage for Oklahoma. But what are your thoughts on all that?
Well, I think you're right. Like, just go off attendance alone. You go anywhere else in the country, you're not getting that. You're not. Granted, it does help a lot that the home team is in it every year, because then that's going to be a lot easier for those fans to make that game.
Sure.
But just like anything, it's a money-making business. They know that we're a powerhouse. And like you just mentioned, like, doesn't make any sense to change it now. We're still going to probably be competing for it.
We should.
Way, wherever it's at. My only concern is, like, the senior class we had now is insane. Yeah. And I don't follow it enough necessarily to know who they have coming in to replace them, anything like that. But the senior class we have, again, going all that way, winning 4 of them.
Yeah,
and I
can you imagine?
That senior class has never lost back-to-back games. Like, that's insane. But
incredible.
No, I think to your point, it's just money-making. We sell out, come close to selling it out, if not do. I'm not really sure. And it would make zero sense to move it at this point. And then
I agree. Yeah.
I saw Clay post it on Facebook, but you don't see us complaining every year about that Red River rivalry being in Texas. I don't care if it's in the middle; it's in Texas.
Still in Texas, yeah.
It's still in Texas. So we haven't complained. We've dominated that matchup in the last number of years. So until you start figuring out how to finally beat us, then don't get much of a say.
No, I mean, and you hit on the head. I mean, I personally would love to have it see Texas here every once in a while, but I understand the significance of the rivalry and what it means to have it in Dallas every year at the fair and all that kind of stuff. So I have the option to go. I just have chosen not to, just because of the fact that I don't want to have a long drive home in case it's a bad game, which is not a good way of looking at it.
At the same, that's what makes that game so legendary and what so many believe as the best game to attend throughout any season, all season, is that game right there. The only other game is the game, but you talk to any analyst or anybody has somewhat of a following, they always put Red River Rivalry over the game.
Oh yeah.
They said the split down the middle is just unlike any other. And the fact that it's one of, I think, 3 games that's played on a neutral site during the regular season. I think it's us, Georgia and Florida. And I think it's one of the Army something games.
Army, Navy or something.
Something like that. But it's just it's special. So like you said, I'd love if it was in Oklahoma, but it makes sense. And I can't hate on it because it is such a rivalry and it's such a iconic location.
I think if I actually went to that game, my dislike for Texas would probably just immensely move up. You know what I mean? So I don't like them now, and I can't imagine.
Oh my gosh,
being at that game, which I know I'm going to be going to one very soon. I just, but the thing is, though, that game you just never know. I know we're getting off topic, but you never know. Like there's years where OU, you remember that time where we went on that is it pancreatic cancer walk that we did, and we went to the Mazzio's, I think, in Tulsa, and sat and watched the whole entire game. We were supposed to smoke Texas that beat. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We were supposed to beat them, right? And we lost, and that's what I'm saying. Like that game right there, you never know. But bottom line is, the Texas coach was complaining. I heard also that he might have been complaining for the fact that there's always weather here in this time frame, and he's not incorrect. There's always some sort of a rain. I don't know that. I couldn't tell you if there's anywhere else in the country that you could move that game to more and see less of a chance of anything like that, other than I know it doesn't rain that much in Los Angeles area, but it doesn't make any sense for me to think because the games still get completed, and I could be wrong, but I don't ever remember seeing anything really delaying it by a lot.
No, me neither. And at the same time, that's just part of the game,
Yes. No, you're 100% right. It's awesome. But did you see? Was it Jada Coleman? I think maybe had some. Was it her that had that stuff out on Instagram or TikTok or something and talking about how people were anybody but Oklahoma, they can't stand Oklahoma and how they cheer and they get all excited and all that stuff. And here's the thing: I've kind of contradicted myself at times, but I know I've said before, keep it quiet, don't say a whole lot.
Yeah, you always flip the switch when it.
Here's the thing: if you're good like that and you can back it up, then I'm all for it. What I don't like to see is when coaches say something and they're really not that great, or players say something
7-5 team,
right. And I guess that's the point. If Alabama talked a bunch of smack for years, and hey, that's fine because they deserved it. But I don't want to see one of my teams talk smack and not be able to back it up. Those girls backed it up. They backed it up 4 years in a row. Kinsey Hansen, Jada Coleman. And those are just two of the ones that I can think of off the top of my head because they're probably the most, I don't want to say popular, but most known players, other than Kelly Maxwell, but that was her first year there. But still, man, what a team. What a great group of individuals. And Patty Gasso, man, are you kidding me? 8? And then, if she's got to get a statue, and I know she will, but get one quickly.
So, yeah. Did you see that Jada Coleman, who's our catcher?
Kinsey.
Kinsey, yeah. And then one other player, I think maybe the first baseman, are all coming back as assistant coaches.
Yes, I saw
I think
that.
that's huge.
Oh,
I think
it's
that's
great.
awesome. Because
And
I
then
think coming into this year, there was some speculation because we had lost a couple of key assistant coaches to head coaching positions.
Yeah.
And, Patty Gasso is great. Good head coaches are great. Or that's what makes great coaches great, is not having the perfect or the best assistant coaches and turning them into really good assistant coaches. But whenever we lost that crew, I think there's speculation that we wouldn't be quite as good. And it wasn't as good of a season by any means, but end result was still a national championship. So
to be able to lose coaches and still win is awesome, because but at some point you see it kind of slow. I mean, you see a little bit of a decline at some point, with a little bit, because you're continuously having to retool and get new people in there, and it takes a toll at some point, because you may get one that you think is going to be great and maybe not as great as another one, and it happens. But right now, Patty's got this thing rolling. I was told by, I don't know if it may have been Clay and I went to lunch a few days ago, and he said that we've signed 7 of the top 12 players in the country. And I'm just like, it's, and plus there's possibility of some of these other kids transferring in.
I know we got the best pitcher, best hitter, and best base infield baseman. And then I know, like you said, transfers as well is huge, because that's where Kelly Maxwell came from. So,
and what's cool is, and I'm not going to act like a couple of years ago or whatever, however long it's been since Jocelyn Allo played. Was last year her last year? Was the year? Or, 2 years
last
ago?
Year was.
Yeah. Okay, well, anyway, she was kind of the star, and this team had more, a lot of individuals, but that were grouped as a team. I know, in my opinion, Coleman and Kinsey Hansen, and then Kelly Maxwell were probably more of the stars, of course, and that's the ones that I remember the most. Kinsey's been there for, I think, 4 or 5 years. I think, I don't know if she played out our COVID year. I can't remember, but man, like I said, that's amazing. Amazing accomplishment. They have an opportunity to keep going and talk that smack. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. There's a video. I don't know if you've seen it. I'll try to find it later on and send it to you. Pretty impressive. I really enjoyed that. You got anything else about the OU women?
Nope.
All righty. Well, we'll transition on. Quick question. With Caitlin Clark, she's brought a lot of interest and a lot of more viewership to the WNBA. She's getting treated pretty poorly by a lot of other players, which they're jealous, right? But she was left off the U.S. Olympic team. In my opinion, that doesn't make any sense. You can't tell me she's not one of the better players. On top of, for Olympics, I don't say let her be on the team just for viewership, but she would definitely help for viewership. I can promise you that. Any thoughts on her being left off the team?
I don't think there's any doubt that she's not a already top 10 player in that league. The only difference is, you see the clips, she's getting triple teamed the whole game, double teamed, triple teamed the whole game, which is unreal for a rookie to walk in game 1 getting treated like that. That just shows how good she is whenever you have the professional coaches and players doing that. And you put her on a team like USA, who has the talent to where the defense is going to have to spread out to where she's on a one-on-one matchup. That's whenever she's going to dominate. And she did it in college, but also against double teams in college. And she'll figure it out in the WNBA whenever she starts getting matchups like that. So it makes no sense to me. Like you said, I know she's had a rough year so far, but that's only because she's got a terrible team around her from what it looks like. And she's, again, getting just bullied out there by people just running into her and double teams. So I think once she gets that figured out, it's going to be, game over for the rest of the league. And I do think, though, it is insane that she's not on it, partially for the viewership, for the stage that WNBA is at right now. You put Caitlin on that team where everyone, unites to watch the United States that, like the Olympics, the World Cup, like that's whenever everyone all of a sudden just like comes together to watch those sports.
Right.
And it would only be more so if Caitlin was on that team, because you get
100%.
again more viewers, more people would be excited for basketball. They'd see how good she is, and then she's got a game, couple weeks in town. Let's go watch her. Like,
Right.
I think it's a dumb move. And now that being said, there could be an injury, and because of all the backlash, I don't hope that there is, but there could be an injury, and because of all the backlash, toss her in there, and then we'll see what happens. But
well, I mean, the thing is like she's helping the WNBA. She's helping those players get more money. I cannot remember who I said, who I listened to. Maybe it was Charles Barkley said he remembers. I cannot remember the player that signed like this huge contract, like a pretty big contract. And he said he remembers looking and seeing Moses Malone and Dr. J high-fiving each other, all excited, because they knew the players were going to start getting paid more because of that one player helping, right? And they were in the twilight years, almost, retirement type years of their career, but they knew it was going to help basketball. And these players are just jealous. She's a great player. And it's just aggravating to me. And again, like you said, like, I don't know, like, I'm not going to sit there and act like I watched a whole lot of women's basketball, because I didn't, but I watched more in the last couple of years than ever had, all combined.
More.
Yeah. And then like Summer Olympics, I'm trying to think, like, I'm not gonna lie, like I do like the track and field. I can't sit there and watch it all day, but I can watch, some races. If you can see who's like really good for America, maybe pop into some of those. When I was a kid, boxing was fun to watch, but it's not fun to watch anymore, because it's not like it was. It's all WNBA. What do you call it? That MMA stuff? Yeah, MMA type of stuff now, right? But anyway, there's different, like, I like Winter Olympics, honestly, a little bit better, because I think that's just me. But anyway, it would bring a lot of viewership for sure.
No, I think just team aspect sports are the most exciting. Like basketball, ultimate frisbee is going to be a thing, which I think is going to be electric. Yeah, that's a new sport getting added.
I do. Beach volleyball, I like that.
Beach volleyball is good, and then what else?
I know soccer, but I mean, soccer is like, I mean, I like watching it, but I don't like 1-0 games and all that kind of junk.
Well, it's cool and all, but it's still, even though it's the Olympics, it's
not the same as World Cup.
It's not the World Cup. World Cup's just different. It's different.
100%. So much different. I agree. But anyway, that's kind of what we want to discuss about that, because I know it's just ridiculous. Jealousy, whatever it might be, and those ladies need to get over themselves. Dan Hurley turned down a big contract possibility for the Lakers today. Do you have the numbers in front of you by chance? What that was?
Give me like 2 seconds, and I will.
I think I know there was some speculation of him possibly joining the Lakers, and I'll let you go first and what your thoughts were, and then I'll tell you what my thoughts are as well. So I'm not sure. You just let me know when you got it.
Yes. Okay, so turned down, 6 years, $70 million from LA, which is an outrageous contract for a head coach, I feel like. And then I can't find the exact UConn, but I know it's 6 years, and it's like a mid 30. It's like a 34 or 35.
Yeah, I was thinking it was close to doubling his salary.
Almost exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And go ahead. What are you thinking though? If you were Dan Hurley, what would you do?
I mean, I respect him for turning it down. Don't get me wrong. Like, for building a legacy, I always respect that. Especially if you're winning now, there makes no sense just to jump ship and try and get an upgrade. Especially going to the Lakers, I can tell. There's so much more. It's like going to the Dallas head coaching or any position. It's gonna have a lot more drama and media behind it. And it's funny too, because the second his name was mentioned, everybody started saying like, "Oh, he's the perfect guy. They need a guy who's like vocal and emotional and like just his emotions are out there." And you hadn't heard that before his name was brought up, but double the money. I mean, that's a lot of money. That is a lot. 30+ million is crazy.
I feel like right now he's a big fish in a small pond, And if he goes to the Lakers, he's more of a smaller fish in a really big pond. You're dealing with pros. You're dealing with LeBron James for however many more years he's got left. I would not wish that upon anybody. Well, there may be a few people I wouldn't mind him doing that. But anyway, I totally understand what you're saying, but I think he can also build more of a legacy where he's at, and he can continue the UConn tradition, but he's going to get probably a raise out of this deal. He's going to make some money anyway. And then I don't know.
His raise.
That was his raise.
Is the contract they offered him to try and keep him.
Well, I mean, then
and it worked.
It worked, but I mean, he's probably doing well where he is now. I don't feel like, and I could be wrong. I just really think that he would have a harder time. He would have a harder time in the NBA. And the way the NBA, like the Lakers are all just about flash and kind of like the Dallas Cowboys of the, of basketball. They're all, that's what they are, is the lights and, all the stars, all the spotlight basically is what I'm trying to look at is on them,
Said that 30 seconds ago. I'm glad you agree.
No, I heard you, but I'm just saying, like, I can't remember. Like, I wouldn't do it. Because what do they have? They don't have anything. And when LeBron's gone, like everywhere, it seems like whenever he leaves teams, they're not as good. Apart. Obviously, they fall apart. Yes,
he's they're at the stage they're at with LeBron at his age, Anthony Davis's age. They don't have like any kind of crazy pick outlook or anything like that. It makes no sense because he's already said previously, I think it was after this past championship he won, somebody asked him if he'd ever be interested in the NBA, and he said it would definitely need to be a team that was young, had that like hunger to win, had good capital for the future, and had an organization that was letting him do what he wanted to do. Which, first thing thought was Thunder. Obviously, Matt Mark's amazing. So not
Mark's, and I'm not saying I want that, but you're right.
But that being said, that is the complete opposite of what the Lakers are. They're a bunch of old heads who still have that hunger to win. I mean, I'm not going to say they don't, but
they're doing it the wrong way.
Wise, they're doing they're doing it the wrong way. They don't have any. Yeah. It's just, LA, you can always go out and pick a bunch of players in free agency, but we've seen recently in the NBA, just like we have I feel like NFL, it's all about who you draft.
Oh yeah, you got to build it through that way.
This last decade or so are full drafted teams.
Yes,
that have won championships.
True, and that's why I think that. I'm not. Maybe San Antonio and Popovich leaves. Because I think they're probably going to build it the right way, and then that kind of thing.
That would be a
Thunder
crazy replacement.
No, I agree 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I don't blame him at all. Why would you go there? It doesn't make any sense at all. So I agree. I agree. Like if somebody came to me and asked me to double my salary right now, man, I'm not going to lie. It'd be tempting, but there's days when I kick myself because seriously, like when I leaving North Carolina, man, goodness, the money was awesome. And it was a little bit more expensive to live out there, but man, it was great. Didn't realize it at the time. I was too worried about wanting to get back this way. But it is what it is. But yeah, doubling your salary, that is hard to say no to. All right. So I've got, I got a question for you, and then I can answer it as well, but because I'm going to give you the places and you're going to kind of rank them. Okay. So I want you to rank the best chicken nuggets. All right. The best. Let me say, hold on.
What?
I'm going to, first off, you're going to drop three. No. There's going to be, I'm going to tell you 8 different places. You're going to throw out 3 and then you're going to rank the others from 5 to 1. You already said you're 1, but hey, okay. But you never know. There may be one of these. You're like, hey, all right. Popeyes, Burger King, Arby's, KFC, McDonald's, Whataburger, Wendy's, and Chick-fil-A. What are the 3 you're throwing out?
You say chicken nuggets or chicken?
Chicken nuggets. What are you talking about?
I didn't know half these places had chicken nuggets. Well, I'll just go Arby's, KFC.
Really?
What was the one after Popeyes?
Burger King.
Yeah, Burger King. Get that sucker out of there.
Yeah, there's no shot. I couldn't tell you the last time I went to Burger King. I was a general manager there in Iowa when we lived in Davenport, Iowa. That was 2000. 5, maybe 4 or 5. And I went to, my boss wanted to take me to lunch. I'm like, okay, cool, let's go. And then there's a Burger King.
He went to
right
Burger King
in the parking lot area. And I'm like, really, dude? Burger King? But I mean, nice guy, love him to death. Great guy, but come on.
Splurge a little bit.
All right. So and to be honest with you, I would throw out Arby's. I would throw out Burger King, and I'd probably throw out, I guess, Whataburger. I don't know. All right, but so then go from 5. What would be your 5th one? So you would have Popeyes, McDonald's, Wendy's, Whataburger, and Chick-fil-A. Who would be your 5th?
Whata 5.
Okay.
Popeyes 4.
Okay.
Wendy's 3. McDonald's 2. Chick-fil-A 1.
Yeah, and I agree. You're exactly the order I would go in, except for the fact that my
Whata and
yeah, exactly. So, and that would be interesting. But yeah, those are ones. So then we'll go on.
Popeyes had chicken nuggets.
Huh? When I go there, I used to go there more when we lived in Springfield. I've only been there a few times since then. Remember that one time you and Kellen went to we gave you the card and hey, go get us some Popeyes, and you guys came over like $80 worth, $70-$80 worth of Popeyes and biscuits. We had biscuits for days, and they were good stuff though. But after my I fell on the floor because y'all spent $80, but we'll see. I know you've got a question, but let's transition.
What is the soundtrack? Well, first off, let me just set up. I got 4 questions.
You got 4 questions.
What
are you asking?
Up,
Father's Day. Okay.
Yeah, Father's Day. Won't be able to make it this weekend. Just breaking the news to you now on air. But
man, that's surprising. Being Father's Day, that people don't come to see you. But hey, that's okay. Hey, everybody goes to mom. Hey, it's Mom's Day. Let's go see mom. But hey, that's okay. That's all right.
Question 1: what is the soundtrack of your teenage years?
When you say soundtrack, you mean music?
You know what's funny is I knew you were going to ask a question to this one because you were going to be lost.
Well, soundtrack,
just a song, an album. Favorite? Give me something. Yeah.
It was Pour Some Sugar on Me. Hysteria from Def Leppard. Not even close, man. Not even close, dude. That place. I mean, I had that mullet rocking. I wore my
jean
isotoner
jacket
gloves.
probably, and
I wore a leather jacket, and I had my isotoner gloves, and I had a gold chain. Long mullet. I could pull the mullet through my mouth and all the way touch my ear. I could put it in a ponytail, man. I was not good looking, I'll tell you.
That is disgusting.
I thought I was. But.
Question number 2. What achievement are you most proud of?
My achievement I'm most proud of is my kids. Now, if you're talking professionally speaking, I mean, worldly, yeah, my kids, that's the best achievement ever. But the professional was when 2014, the Sam's Club I was running in Springfield, Missouri, finished number 2 in the company as it was really number 1. We beat I don't know, what was it, 12 out of 14 or metrics, and they gave it to another store in Pooler, Georgia. I know why, they know why, but that's okay, whatever. But I was real excited because I had no clue, and I knew he had a good year. But Roger Staubach came out. I was in Dallas to hand out the award, right? And I'm like, and I've got a Dallas jacket on, and my boss Shane was pointing at me, going, "This is you, man. It's you." And I was like, "Oh man!" I was sitting there trying to think of. He's like, "You have a speech ready?" I'm trying to think of a speech, and I got people handing me Sharpies to have him sign my jacket, and they started reading off the numbers, and I'm like, it's not me. So, and then what they say about second place? They forget about you. That's exactly what happened. So,
yeah.
But hey, I've still got my my plaque here. I would love to show it to you, but yeah, I got my plaque here that somehow made it here.
Question number 3: what skills are most valuable in a person?
Integrity. I don't know if it's much of a skill, but you got to have integrity. You either have or you don't. I mean, that's just if you have integrity, then you're going to be honest and all these other things. Sometimes honesty to me is a little bit different probably to some people, because I believe if you're going to be honest, you're going to be honest. And some people kind of tread the truth a little bit to hurt people's feelings. And I just I'm like Oscar Ferguson told me one time, like a piece of paper, I throw the rock right through it instead of painting a picture. So go ahead.
feel like that's more of a, I mean, it counts, but like a soft skill. Can't really learn it.
So what are you telling me, that I'm wrong?
No, I'm saying you're right, but you were saying,
Okay.
I don't know if that's technically a skill, but I was like, it's more of a soft, like you're more so just born with it in a sense. Or
well, I mean, if you're talking
like
like something to learn, I mean, dadgum, I would say, I mean, communication's huge. If you can communicate to people, that's half the battle. I mean, that's pretty big.
last question. As a kid, what did you want to be when you grew up?
As a kid, I wanted to be a soccer player for the Tulsa Roughnecks, but that sadly went away. But I mean, honestly, like if you looked at what I really wanted to be as a sportscaster, I wanted to be a sportscaster. I went to Oklahoma Christian. We didn't really have a big sports, type of thing then at the time. I don't know if they do now, but when I got married, we had at UCO, I started taking some classes there, but then the amount of time you were having to take outside of work or outside of school, was going to take up a lot of time, and I was needing to work. So I didn't do that. And that's a big regret of mine, because I think I could have made it pretty big there. I truly do, because I think I'm extremely passionate about it. And I don't mind working a lot of hours, so it would have been different.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't think you get paid as much depending on what you're doing, but I think I would have been one of those guys that maybe instead of Joe Buck, you'd be listening to Todd Fox and Troy Aikman.
It's true.
It's possible.
Sure. Then it'd be Todd Fox everybody hated instead of Joe Buck.
Yeah, I mean, they already do, but that's just not everybody, but they would. Yes, you're right. Probably so.
Todd's voice on Madden,
That would be interesting. I'd say a lot of what's some things I would say, like what?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
There you go. 100%. I've told somebody told me to get a t-shirt like that, or that's what I'm talking about. Things like that. Well, too bad you're not going to come this weekend, but hey, you know what? Just send the Father's Day present, money, whatever you got to do, and that'd be awesome. I know we got possibly some merch coming here soon, right? Some merch coming, possibly.
Well, not possibly. It is. I hope so. Paid for it, but yeah, by the end of the month, Foxed In hats coming in. When they come, we'll get some pictures. We have pictures of it now.
Yeah, we'll wait till they come.
Yeah,
and
maybe we'll rock them.
The funny thing is after he puts that order in, I'm talking about changing the logo.
Yeah, this clown dropped a bunch of money, and he's like, "Yeah, I think we should change the logo." Nope.
Toughen it up a little bit. I mean, we're tough guys, right? So that's kind of what I thought. But that's okay. It's all good. But do we want to do this now, or you want to wait till later to let our folks hear the new track that's going to be coming out, the new, what do you call it, intro at some point, or you want to wait till next week?
Let's just give the people what they want,
All right, this is what our new intro will sound like here in the next few weeks, as soon as we get the new the intro video going. So here we go.
Welcome back to all our friends, family, and yes, even our foes, to the Fox Den Sports Podcast, where Todd and his sports-passionate kids are ready to bring you the latest updates and insights on all things sports. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, here are your hosts, Kellen, Garrett, Gannon, Callie, and coming to you from the Fox Den, their dad, Todd Fox.
And then this is whenever we,
I would start talking and saying, "Welcome to the Fox Den." Yeah. So anyway, it's gonna be interesting when it comes out. Well, we would like to remind everybody that iron sharpens iron.
Please stay safe.
Be savage and not average.
And remember to join the skulk.
And until next time, goodbye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Fox Den Sports Podcast. Be sure to subscribe for free to our YouTube channel, Fox Den Sports. And also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Fox Den Sports and on Facebook at Fox Den Sports Podcast. You can also email us at foxdensports@yahoo.com. This has been Fox Den Sports.
Goodbye, everybody.
Claw.
You've been listening to the Fox Den Sports Podcast with Todd, Kellen, Garrett, and Gannon. Find us on Facebook at Fox Den Sports. That's Fox with 2 X's. Drop us an email at foxdensports@yahoo.com. And be sure to share this podcast with other sports fans in your life. This has been Fox Den Sports.